What's up, everybody? I'm Maze. Are you ready to bring the pain with Heat Override today? Yeah. Woo! Man, as you already see, you already know that this is about the Summer Shiai tournament that I was just in with my team yesterday, Saturday. So I'm recording this on Sunday, the day after. So that was the 27th. And I mean, I don't want to, show anything off, but yeah. I mean, my kata was okay. So my con has been really safe, I guess, for a few years, but since I'm getting into the advanced divisions now, I have to add more power. And with that power comes control. So I've been really focusing on a lot of the power and checking out some videos that a certain guy is leaving up there, Keith Weston. So thank you. Every one of those little videos that you do leave does help people like me that, can't really reach out to you for services because, you got money tied up. Hey, things happen in life, right? I mean, we got our second car back, 485 later. Life is happening. Summer, we got crazy busy. We got SummerSlam next week. Oh, yeah. But man, and then the Fantasy Football Expo after that. And we get a week off, and then we're going to be fighting. I'll get to what we're going to be fighting in August 24th. But let's talk about the Summer Shiai right now. This is held by, of course, Bill Viola. And he's part of the team kumite, everything like that. He does the kumite classic. He does the Christmas kumite. So he's a long time, dude. He's an author. He's a black belt, multi-generational. He has a son in it. He has his daughter in it. And they are just really they put on a great tournament. And this, again, was not only a great tournament, but the gym was perfect too. The temperature was just right so that, you didn't worry about getting overheated as a fighter or being uncomfortable and things like that. And, you got the mats in this because Billy does it right. And that's just really cool. So I want to say thank you. And, it was really busy. He was really busy with this because, this is a bigger tournament. And so, we only got to meet up a couple of times, but I do want to extend my thank you to you and your entire family and all of the helpers and all the people that help put this show on because it's because of stages like this that people like me, even at my age 46 or up to my daughter's age, which is 13, and then many other in all ages, it allows us to still do the thing that we love doing. And what we love doing is doing karate at tournaments with our team. And that team is TKO-ERIE. Oh, yeah, man. Drive was crazy. So Minnie went down. She did her own little thing. She went down with her other people, girls stuff, that whatever, right? So I rode down with my buddy Derek and Tony and Connor. And Tony and Connor just slept the whole time. So Derek kind of just like, when we talked for a few times, we just said a few things because, I didn't really get to listen to the new Eminem album until I got that ride yesterday. And so I listened to that the whole time. And I was like, you know what? So I was listening to Derek's music and everything. And, he listens to like 21 Savage, all the rappers like that. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, just a whole bunch of people like that. And so it was just kind of fun. I took it all in. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the stuff that I rip on all the time on my other podcast saying I really don't like it. And I can't relate with it. It was actually good rap. So that was the good part about it. And every once in a while, I saw a rock song come up. I want to say like "Don't Stop Believing" came up or something. It was like Derek and he hit that. I didn't say anything, but on my podcast, I am going to say something. I saw you had that on there, bro, or something like that. There's a couple songs, man. I was just waiting for some CCR to come out, man. I know that dude got that in him. What's up, D? Anyway, let's move along. So, we practiced all week. We went 4 days of karate this week, me and my daughter, because we both do it. Again, that's, the total inspiration of why I do this. So, we get there, we get all set up, we're all stretched and ready. And actually, what's really nice about this, it sucks that, they run the weapons at the beginning. So we really don't really care about doing weapons. And then sometimes the katas can be kind of fast into it. But me and her were practically done by one. So that was actually really nice. I mean, I've been at this tournament to where I didn't get to fight till 4:30, and that's just wild. And we were there till about 6:37 or something like that. I didn't get back till about 9. So that was the whole build up and everything like that, just practicing hard. So I was in a zone. Literally, I was in a zone. I felt like I was in a zone. And Friday really helped. Molly was in a zone too. The whole team was in it. And it's old because we took a lot of fighters. Our, fighter Andre went, Derek went, Ibrahim went, Connor went, Tony went, and Tony got MMA fight here coming up in the third. Yeah, when we go see SummerSlam, he got a fight this coming week. So, I mean, he's fighting MMA. He's gonna be in the ring. So because we're not going to SummerSlam, that's we're gonna miss him. So good luck, Tony. But I'll see him all week. So I'm gonna give him some bro cacks and stuff. That's yeah. I get weird there too, man. I'm like the ultimate stream crazy guy. So, but I help motivate, and they motivate me, and that's kind of what happens. So, watching Minnie do her stuff, I was able to actually watch both her fights, and I was able to watch her do her kata. So I got that. That was cool. Sometimes we are going at the same time, and we have to count on other people to try to maybe get us. But then sometimes the other people don't always give us the videos, Derek, uh, and other things. And then sometimes people go and post my videos up there. It's like, I don't want my videos up there. I don't want people knowing I launched like that. You know what I'm saying? But oh, all right. So let's move along. So, she had her kata was really good, but what really happened was the girl before her did not actually show up. So then they had Molly go third. So when they did the thing, they eliminated it and they erased her points. So they didn't know Molly's points when it came to the end. I don't know. I mean, I thought they were still written down, right? They should have been written down on the pad. Just go back to the pads. Go back to spot 3. So they just made up some points and they didn't even give her a win. And she just took first place last time in that. It's like, come on, man. Dude, she said did it, but I know I'm not going to scream out and say, hey, let's fix this. It's not worth it. But I mean, if she cared about points and things like that, those are points for her PKRA rating. But you know what? She don't care. It's just the way it is. It happens. We understand it. It's not even worth talking about. So she ended up fighting the person who took first place in her first fight, and it was a good fight. The girl practically both of these girls threw head kicks at Minnie the whole time, right? And the first one, it took Molly a few seconds to understand what she was kind of doing. And once she caught on, then Molly kind of started ducking underneath it and coming up with kicks and punches. And it really got it. She fought back and then she kind of gave up a couple head kicks and then just ran out of time and just came up a little short. It happens, in a point fights. And in her division, they're just really good. But this was also a good learning curve for her because, her next fight was somebody who had beaten her a year and a half prior at the Calijuries contest in November, whichever one. That's where they do the championships. That's where you get, the little things like I've got it around here, but you get patches, you get your PKRA patch and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't even have a gi thing to put that on. I'm not going to put it on anyway. I do katas in sport karate outfits, man. I know I shouldn't, but I do. And so back to her, so she fought this person. So this person's now Molly going up in division because of age and going and being in the advanced division. She went from when she turned 13. Now she's up in this. So now this is like kind of the first time that she's fought bigger people again because she just came from being as big or just a little short or being taller than the other people in that division. So now she's got the 14-year-olds there. So it just was, she's naturally giving up size, but she gave up substantial size to the second person that beat her. And practically her ability to beat Molly last time, which she barely beat her that time, was to just stick her leg out and just keep roundhousing. And Molly kind of just ran into it a couple times and she came up a couple points. This time, Molly kind of diced her up. There was a few funny moments. Molly kind of fell at this one point, and then she kind of like went walked it off. And the other girl kind of got down, and Molly just straight up blitz attacked her. And then Molly kind of threw a couple face kicks and really, really diced her up and showed her that, hey, you may be a lot bigger than me, but once I've dodged your first or your second attack, now you have something to worry about because I'm going to hit you. And that's what she did. Both those girls hit Molly and threw multiple head kicks at her, and Molly hung in there and she went 1-1, but she took third place, but she's still awesome because she can definitely beat that other girl as well too. But that's what happens is sometimes you get these different fights and you learn from it. And so when she goes into that division, what happens a lot in those in the girls division slash into the young women's division is that they literally just do leg fights. They literally just sit there and they throw kicks, and until somebody gets a leg over another leg and sneaks it down and hits the side, that's what they do. So it's kind of like she's getting set up that, but she is throwing her hands. She's throwing her hands a lot more. She looked actually amazing. It was probably the most ferocious she's fought. I've seen her fight, and she is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in that division, and has been a force to be reckoned with in all of her divisions over the years. So that's when we get to my turn. So kata, I'll just go straight up off. Makata, tied for fourth place, not good. And so my last time, my power wasn't there. So the same guy, Sensei Jose, or Grandmaster, I don't know what title he holds, but I know that he is a sensei. And he had said something. And of course, he knows my sensei, Master Brian. And they had a few moments, and they had a few moments together with me, and they explained to me what I did wrong. But he had pulled me aside last time at the March Madness earlier this year and said, you need more power. Your form was good, but when I look at you and I seen you fight, I know you fight with power. Your kata needs to have power. So I took that to heart. I said, okay. So I've been really doing a lot, like I said, watching a couple of Keith Weston's, flicks, and then using other things we have at the dojo, other techniques that we use, and doing a lot of, drills and different drills and back stances and front stances and transitions and things like that. So I've been really trying to get the lateral and my vertical movements down really good. I have developed more power. Apparently, I am leaning on a couple of the shots, and then my fist wasn't tight on something like that on a couple. So that is why I did good. But the guy said, I gotta say, I said you needed power, and this time you had power. But now I have to go back and I have to learn to control that power. And that's why we always build on everything we learn in martial arts. So, kumite. Well, after losing, and the person who won first place in kata, I mean, they actually kept the division together. So it was co-ed. There was 4 women, 4 guys. And it was one of the, actually, this guy, Mark, that I fought last tournament, he actually bowed out. His wife won. So, I mean, the kata looked great. I can't doubt it. Just form, slowness, the control, it was good. So I wouldn't have beat that. But whatever. Still good times, and I'll give it a shot. So that's what we're going to do, and I will win. Watch. So move along to kumite. So like I said, only 2 of the fighters actually did kumite. There was another gentleman that did both. He did weapons, I guess, earlier, and then he did the open hands, but he did not fight. I would like to go at him. He was kind of a bigger gentleman, kind of had a nice build to him. I would definitely have had to really get worked on him and see how good he was. His kata looked really good. Kata looked really good as well too. So, and I actually beat him. I was like, what? Like, okay. But so that's what it is. Sometimes it's about those little things. My thumbs being in the wrong place and leaning a little too forward. Those few points cost me maybe first place. But going into kumite, again, as I said earlier in this podcast, that I had been fighting at a high level all week, actually for the last month. And since I've won last time in the New York tournament that I had, since I won then, I've been riding like kind of a ride, but I've been trying to make sure that I stay in stride and keep learning new things and but also my body has been developing as well too. So my style is really changing. It's really evolving, and I'm doing these things during the fights that I don't even know. And during my fight, I ended up fighting Robert again, Bob, and I actually gave him this back fist, and it kind of set him off tilter, and he fell into the score table. I mean, I'm not trying to hurt a guy, but it's like, holy crap, man. Right. And it's just, one of those things, but he was okay. He fought hard. Like he fights good. And a lot of people, I know he's a lot older than me and everything like that, but he fights good for where he was. And the first time I fought him, and then even when I fought him, which was the last time I fought him, was the second time I fought him, and he fought way better than he did the first time. And I was just a green-eared. That was my first fight, and I think I threw a lot of counter kicks at him and things, but ended up I was able to win on the points that day. And so and then of course I won last month. So we get into this one. And I came in with a game plan. My game plan was to throw a side kick straight from the go, side kick. And it worked. It worked. And so I stayed on my game plan. I went blitz right after. I was up two. And that's when I see my coach go, okay, Rob's got this. And that's when all the craziness started happening, the juking, the jiving. Practically, I was on a zone. Bob talked to me afterwards, said, I couldn't deal with you launching. He goes, he said to me, he goes, you were so fast off that line. There was just nothing. If the minute I sidestepped, you were already in me. And I was like, that's a really good compliment. Although he fought really hard too. Even though I won 11-3, don't think on those 11 points, I didn't take a punch from him. I can feel my face right here, right here. He popped me good. And I got yelled at when I got punched because at that point, I called my own point. I stepped back, did a move, and I popped him in the side with my reverse punch, and I stopped, and I got pummeled in my left side of my jaw. So this is my left side. That's where he got me at. Bam! Right? And I hear my coach, I hear my sensei from the sideline go, that's why you don't call your own points. I guess that's why I learned a lesson. But I also do one dumb thing at a tournament all the time, and I usually at least get yelled at once, and there it was. But it's something to learn on. I need to remember to continue through. But the rest of the fight was a good fight. I won. I won this nice trophy. So yeah, that's how you bring the bird. Oh yeah. But I'm not scared. And then I gotta say real quick, the novice division had this mountain. Like this dude looked like the mountain, right? And dude, he moves up, I'm gonna have some problems. This dude's like 6'6", and he was an ex bodybuilder, so his upper body's just crazy. He was punching this dude was smaller than me. He popped this dude in his chest 3 times, and it was like doom, doom, doom. Right? Derek turned around like he was like, and I'm like, yo, I seen that go down, right? And so afterwards, I talked to him. He was a nice gentleman. His name is Josh. He goes, I was surprised he didn't try to move. He goes, most people move to side. He was like, I have a real problem with reps and using too much power, but it's hard to control this power. And I'm like, all right, bro, this is it. And I was like, when he said that, though, I was like, I told him right to his face. I was like, that's exactly how I would fight you. I was like, I would have to move to the side, but fighting him would hurt a lot. I would definitely probably have to take a Monday off after that fight, win or lose. But I would definitely try to win, and I would definitely not go head to head with him. Not after that, because he chucked that man. He Spartan kicked that man, and he was like, "I love my Spartan kick." Yeah, I fought a Spartan kicker, and that guy was 6'5", right? I don't know what's up with these dudes trying to kick us little dudes, man. Like, what's up, man? You want to put a foot in the chest? I get it. You're a big dude kicking a small dude. It's probably the ultimate power move and probably will knock us out and take our stamina out. But that's why the 2 minutes, and that's why fighting in Billy's tournaments is awesome, is because they make you follow through. It's not this one hit, 5 hit stuff like in Ohio, where you, little 5 points, and it's all digressional because, there might be a couple judges out of the way, like my last fight that I lost, my only loss in the past 2 years. And it was just the guy it was on video was signaling me, but they just couldn't get it. The other two guys saw it, and I just wasn't rotating. So that's different now. That's different. And that means the next time I see that gentleman, if he's not a black belt by then, because he is, I'm fighting all brown belts too, by the way. I'm not going to be a brown belt for another 2 years. So I am literally trying to fight at a high level, trying to make sure that I make this division fun, but also I'm not trying to hurt anybody either, too. So, but it is aggressive by nature. And I want to say during that fight, even though I knew Bob had almost flown over that table, hit into that table, at the same time, I didn't even know he fell the second time. I watched the video back and I'm like, oh, he fell. And I think I saw me look at him fall, but I didn't remember it because you go into a different zone. And that's what we teach at TKO. That's what some people and some other people in the community and some people at the other karate schools in Erie. And I don't care if I say this or they hear this or they listen to this, because I'll say it straight up. We have it all the time. Yeah, we fight hard. We train hard. It's all about stamina. We're not going to take no fancy pantsy comes in one day and wants to just throw jabs and haymakers and try to hurt fighters, right? That's how other people can get hurt, or you will hurt yourself because you're going to twist an ankle, a leg, or something like that. You have to be responsible as a fighter. as I was in that fight with Bob as well, too. Once I got that lead, I stopped using my power, and you can see it in the video, right? Because that's what a true karate master, that's what a true martial artist does, is he learns control and he knows when not to use it. And that's the point of martial arts. And that's, so when you get to all the crazy fights, Tony, crazy odds stacked against him. Connor was fighting like a 6'6" lanky dude. And by the time he got just like, kind of like Molly had, by the time you get past the leg or figure out how to get past the leg, which Connor would just grab the leg real quick and then he would slide up. And as he was sliding up, he was stronger than the dude inside. So he was getting wrecked. The other dude was getting wrecked. But man, he kept putting that foot out in Connor. And Connor is just, just doing the thing I do. Like I have to do with big, tall people because we're just, regular 5'10" dudes or 6 foot dudes. And so, and Tony was just moving around, having fun, great times and stuff, trying not to get hurt for his real fight that he's got coming up this week. So good luck, Tony. You got to bring the pain. Oh, yeah. Right. And then Ibrahim had the craziest fight. First of all, they screwed him over on a couple points, but that's point fighting. It can't always be said. But man, he fought to a sudden death, 2 full rounds. I think the final score was 19-18. It could have been, I think it was 21-9. I don't know. They hit each other I'm surprised this dude took all those blows from Ibrahim, because Ibrahim, dude, his whole bottom of his face was red, scratched. He was bleeding. Like I don't know how he lived. I mean, I know why, because he's strong because of martial arts, but sometimes you're looking at these two just pummel each other, right? And then of course we get Cameron and Derek going after that, and the guy from Team Smack, I forget his name right now, Hayden, I think it was. So, and if I'm wrong, sorry about that, whatever, sorry, dude. And so that was it. And I got to see Nick, that was cool to see you too. So what's up, dude? Bring pain, right? But man, Cam drew him in that first fight, and that fight was crazy. Because at one point they literally started going like throwing blows, like yeah, because I can know that's like what some stuff I'm starting to do when I have to make a comeback or make a statement. I start putting power and I start keying behind it because I ain't giving up, right? Well, these dudes was keying during that fight, and they all came down to Cam and Derek. That had another great fight, another epic one, man. So much crazy stuff between those two, and then we have the fight of the night. I gotta say, I mean, of course, Friday night's gonna be Cam and I think the Hayden guy or the guy from Team Smack, and you would think it's there, but actually the best fight of the night was Derek and the Sway guy. The Sway guy. So Derek ended up getting in his first fight. Derek got this black belt that practically I could have beat him. I would have schooled that. I would have crushed this dude. I think Bob would have crushed this guy, right? I'm sorry, dude. If you listen to this podcast, I really don't mean any harm or anything like that. But this is who I am. I bring the pain. I ain't scared, right? I will. I can challenge you. I know I can beat you because Derek didn't even attack you. He ran over. I video of him running to the corner and just hopping with his wrists on his hips, and like this dude wouldn't attack Derek, but Derek would have. But Derek didn't know out of the 2 rounds because Derek had to dance around him for 2 rounds while this guy kind of just kept his guard up and swayed, right? And Derek was like, I didn't know there was a 10-point mercy rule until it happened. He goes, and then he was like, I would have just finished that guy because he was up 7-0. And then he finally got like 1 hit. And it was just a crazy, crazy thing to witness happen. And Derek's just bouncing around, and this dude can't catch him. I mean, I can't catch him, right? I mean, Derek was on the way back talking about, so when we drove back, we were all talking. There was no music and anything. Derek was talking about, he goes, I go to Vinny, I'll give him 20 minutes, but he can't in a straight up point fight, only point fights, anything like that. He couldn't hit me 3 times. He was like, we did it for 5 minutes the other day and he couldn't hit me once. And I was like, man, that sounds like some fun ass bet, but I know that I wouldn't want to deal with what the rest of that is, which Derek is a mentor to me and to Molly and everybody at TKO. And he's gone hard at me quite a few oftentimes, but now he's more about making me push through, making me push through because he is faster. He would take me out. He's stronger, faster, more skilled. He's just better. That's it. That's it. The only chance I would have a chance against him is if I took 25 years off of me and I would have been doing karate since all that. And I would have had to do the other things. I have no chance. So he trains me up. But the things that he does, the things that Luke does, the things that everybody does, Brian teaches us, Matt teaches us, Sensei Len teaches us, all the things that we teach is what makes us ferocious fighters in the ring. And that's what every time you experience, everything I've said this podcast, you notice every fight, every person I mentioned, even Kayla with her fight, she had nobody to fight. So she did an exhibition match against the advanced person, somebody that she's probably shouldn't have been in the ring with. And she went at her and almost won, but that girl was really good. It just took Kayla just needed to do a lot more of that leg work because she's tall enough. She could have handled it, but that's the things we learned. And then we got our boy Malik just going to second place against the dude that was jump kicking everybody the whole time. This kid literally just did a flying front jump kick the whole time and just kicked everybody and maybe threw fists. And Malik threw him off. He kept moving around trying to punch him in the gut and stuff like that, but he threw Malik off too. And when I talked to his dad, Will, afterwards, he was really proud of his son. They did so well. And of course, Armani and Giovanni getting into their first tournaments and fighting hard and getting through and being able to, put their martial arts to the use. That's what TKO is about. That's what Brian is about. He's about making us fight longer and harder than the next person, because if we're not, they'll beat us. And that goes with anything in life. And I hope that maybe if you learned something from this episode, or you don't learn something, or you had a good time listening, hearing about a great karate tournament that we had fun at, that, there was a few mishaps, a little fun, but in the end, we still walk home champions because we always remember to bring the pain when it comes to point fighting at TKO. Yeah. Good luck to the MMA fighters next week. Get it? Yeah.